All right, so part 3. Hopefully you can hear me better because I think they're finally going to stop clowning in the four-wheelers, at least for a little bit. Fat Albert is still doing well. He has looked a tad droopy to me, but I don't think anything's wrong. He's had a little bit of needle drop, but I think that's normal this time of year from what I've read here in the South, but I will monitor him closely. Because this is for sure my favorite conifer. I love this tree so much. And he has been, a rock star. I do think, if we've had him in the pot, we may try to put him in the ground this fall. I mainly have him in a pot because I just didn't know where I wanted him to go. And I have most everything in pots here anyway. So I'm going to have to think about that. Again, everything's looking nice over here. Again, I did a lot of deadheading and cleaning out because I have several hummingbird mints that were real leggy. And I think next year I know for sure which varieties I want to repeat and keep. And thankfully they're perennials. And which ones might go. Because I do not like leggy. And it's not because they don't get enough sun. It's just that's how they grow. My Arctic Blaze Red, I've had this several years. It's getting ready to put on another show. The hummingbirds like it. My poor Summerific Hibiscus, Evening Rose, Primrose, is decimated by whatever little critters have eaten it. But it did do a second bloom. And it was, even with the leaves, it was very pretty. So the blooms are spectacular. It has done much better here than where I originally had it, but I don't know for sure if I'm going to keep it here. Because I'm thinking about moving some of these elsewhere and I just feel like now this is looking a little bit too crowded and busy. So I have to think about that for next year. This is some type of Texas salvia. It was magnificent a couple of weeks ago. It's reloading, so I'm sure I'll get another nice flush in the fall. Purple Cascade. It's done actually pretty well here, but I need to move it and get it to a spot where it can really thrive. But it has come on strong. It struggled last year, but it has definitely done well. And there's some other type of, I don't know, Indian coneflower with it that looks really pretty, and I love it, but I feel like this Purple Cascade bush needs the pot all to itself. So we'll probably be transplanting some things out of there so that the Purple Cascade can have the pot to itself. This little Japanese maple, I did not think was going to make it, but it's definitely gotten bigger, thickened up. I don't know this is the best location for it with the sun, so I'm thinking about relocating it just to the right. I'll show you where in a moment. But for now, it can stay here. My wheelbarrow, we cleaned out the petunias. It looked great for most of the summer, but again, about 2 weeks ago, it was like, it's time. You can see this, whatever this rockin' pineapple salvia is, rockin' golden, I don't know. Again, I didn't realize what it was when I bought it, and I wish now I had not. But I think I'm probably just going to pull it like I did my other pineapple salvia. Because I think by the time it blooms, the hummingbirds are going to be gone. I don't know. I'm on the fence because it's starting now to choke out my Sun Credibles. So, I don't know. Or maybe I'll pull out all but one. Maybe leave one and then take the others out and then just see what it does. Again, this is getting a lot more sun in the afternoon now, so I'll be interested to see how this whole, thing evolves. Again, I do think I'm going to have to get rid of some of that salvia, though, to preserve my Sun Credibles. Again, this has been kind of mixed. I felt like my Sun Credibles overall did better last year, but I think I should have fed them more. So, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'll do with this bed next year because none of this will come back. I do love the Rockin' Purple salvia. I don't know, though, that this was the best location for it. So, we'll see. Okay, let's come over here. Now you can hear me because I finally stopped four-wheeling, at least for the moment. Several varieties of coleus, I don't even know what. I think some of them are Inferno. And some autumn fuchsia. This has been very happy here. I moved it. It was over there and it didn't like the afternoon sun. We'll see what happens though, because now this area is getting more afternoon sun. again, as time is changing. It does need to be watered pretty deeply each day, but it is so pretty. At this point, I've just kind of given up pinching off the flowers. I'm just going to leave them for the pollinators. And then this is Moon Dust, I think, Coleus, also from Select Seeds. It got hit by the storm. And again, it's kind of interesting to see the speckling here. You know, one kind of ended up going this way, one this way. And then I had some other Coleus in that bed, and we had to pull it out because it got totally laid out by the storm. But I wasn't a big fan of it, so I wasn't too upset about that. The happy side of this is this dragonwing begonia was already doing great, but now that Coleus has been out, that and these mums are getting ready to reload. And then I have some more Blue Fortune here, and we took out all the roses here except for Bring Me Sunshine. I have always been a big rose gardener, but I really the Georgia heat is very hard on them, and it doesn't matter whether you do tea roses, David Austin roses, the old garden roses. They all come with their pros and cons, and at this point, I think I'm more interested in having things that look good all summer. So I am slowly weeding out a lot of my roses. There's going to be a couple I'm going to keep that have been like good performers and look good most of the summer and don't get diseased or whatnot, but most of them are going to go. This, I think, is my Queen Emperor Japanese maple. You can see she got fried over there, and she didn't even get full sun all day, but it was just too much. So this is her new home. She does get some afternoon sun here, but we're going to see how this goes. She's also thickened up. She was a clearance find at Pikes along with that other little one. So we'll see. I honestly did not even think they were going to make it a year, so I'm thrilled. We're on the back side now, where we were earlier. Again, the roses are not doing as well because they're just not getting as much sun now. But they look good most of the year, so I'm okay with that. I don't plan, I think, to move them. I did move these crepe myrtles over here to see if they would do better from last year, but they really have not. So, I don't know. We'll see what they do next spring. I think, again, I pruned them too late, but if they don't perform next year, pretty early, they're going to get the shovel prune. This is another Coleus. Again, we have the cascading. And this has been in several parts of my garden. But this is its latest location. I think it's okay here. It was just getting so tall, it was hiding things, so it kind of seems good in the back. But again, even in this shade, it still needs a lot of water. And this is the first year I've grown Coleus and as many annuals as I've done, and I think that's been kind of a thing I've had to come to realize, which, I mean, I've not lost anything other than the Suncredible sunflowers, which technically made it, but they look so bad. But they do need a lot of water, and they need a lot of Miracle-Gro, and definitely certain types of planters. So if I repeat these, which again, there's some red-headed Coleus in here, which I love. I will definitely grow again. I think this is, I forget what this is called. It's a different variety, but I like it too. I will not do them in this type of urn planter. I'll make sure they're in something deep and big. This is a cedar that I got last year at Pikes, and knock on wood, it's doing exceptionally well. I love this tree. This is my second favorite conifer behind my Fat Albert. Again, this is a little lime, excuse me. I thought it was a lime. This is a little lime, and it has done really well. It did horrible last year, so I'm amazed that it's done as well. Here is definitely a struggle area. I had high hopes for this garden. Again, maybe I just planted stuff too late in the summer. We'll see how they do. I got two smaller of the Blush Incredibles, and they did great at first, but they're really struggling now. The Arctic Blaze I thought would get enough sun here, but it's not, so I'm going to probably move it. I had another smooth hydrangea I'd gotten from Bluestone. I don't think it's going to make it. There's still some new growth there, but I don't know, this whole area has really struggled, and you can see we took some things out. Probably this is maybe why I love rock and blue salvia, and it kind of overtook stuff. Again, this is another incredible. So moral is, do not plant rock and blue in this close to a hydrangea. We'll see. I don't know if this is going to make it. It's looking pretty bad. This may be. I mean, it's alive here, but it looks pretty rough at the base. But I will wait and be patient and see. So, you know, it's been an interesting summer. Oh, you can see the backside of the Dazzle Ruby or Ruby Sparkle, whatever that is. That was the clearance find I got at Home Depot. Coleus. You know, there's been more successes than failures. There have been some things that have surprised me in good ways and some in not such good ways. This is, again, a good surprise. This is another cedar I got last year. It is really taken off this year. So, again, I'm going to really rethink my design because it's a fine line between having everything look, you know, full and filled in with the containers and then like too much. And now that some of my shrubs and trees are kind of coming into their own, you know, I'm probably going to space some things out. So, yeah, I had thoughts in July about what I wanted to do for next year, and that has changed even since then. But, and it may change again before, you know, we get to the end of the growing season. But overall, you know, I'm pretty happy with everything. This is by far has been my best gardening effort ever. So, you know, I would give it an A- overall, I think, if I were grading the garden and myself this year. But again, that's part of what gardening is. You know, you learn as you go, and no 2 years are the same. And that's what keeps it interesting. I think it would be dull if everything, you know, went exactly as you planned. And a lot of the things that you don't plan, a lot of times turn out to be the best surprises. So the garden has a lot to teach us. So again, overall, I'm very happy. I mean, I don't really have any complaints. I mean, there's things I would definitely do differently. And again, some things that grew the way I thought they would, a lot of things that did not. But, you know, we live and we learn and we adapt. And, you know, I'm already excited to think about what next year will look like. Obviously, there's a lot of very, very bad things happening in our world right now. And I'm assuming that we'll be in a country where we're free to garden this time next year. I don't know. But for now, you know, they say to plant a garden is to plant hope. So that's one of the things that keeps me going in the middle of so many horrible, evil things happening in our country to innocent people. Is to try to do the things I can to speak out about these injustices, but also to, in my own small way, try to beautify my corner of the world through gardening, such as it is. So, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the tour if you've stayed with me this long. I know these videos are long and they're not super professionally produced, but I did want to document and share my garden and my journey. And again, I'm excited to see how fall will play out and what things are going to look like. Again, I don't feel like my iPhone video camera really does justice to how pretty everything does look. But I hope that you have enjoyed the tour and that you are having a good day in whatever your corner of the world is. So, until next time, thank you for tuning in, and happy gardening, friends. Peace.